Welcome, everybody. Formally, I want to introduce our esteemed and wonderful teacher today. Kelly DuMar is a poet, playwright, and writing workshop facilitator for new and experienced writers. Author of 3 poetry collections, and I've read them. She's an amazing poet. Her work has been published in Thrush, Glassworks, Bellevue Literary Review, Tupelo Quarterly, and many more journals. Her plays have been staged around the US and Canada and are published by dramatic publishers. She's the author of Before You Forget, The Wisdom of Writing Diaries for Children. She produced Our Voices Festival of Boston area, women playwrights held at Wesley for 12 years. And as I said, she is producing her play lab for the entire conference, an amazing experience if you haven't done it. And there'll be a performance at the end of the conference of the plays and monologues. She founded the Farm Pond Writers Collective, now the Charles River Writers, to guide women to write from their personal photos, develop their artistic voices, and connect deeply. She produces and hosts a monthly open mic for the Journal of Expressive Writing. She has a wonderful blog. She shares her nature photographs and gives incredible prompts. And the last thing I want you to know is I've taken her workshops. I've been in her critique groups. You can't have a better teacher. So take it away, Kelly.
Thank you so much, Leslie, and it's an honor to be here, and I just really applaud you for founding and creating and sustaining this wonderful community of the free writes on Fridays, and I'm just so honored to be one of the presenters. And here today, I want to thank Desiree, who's here also for her tech support. And I want to give a very quick overview. You are going to be doing some writing today. But the first thing we're going to do is that I am going to take you into a theater experience. So I want to talk and present to you what this process is of writing for the stage, how it's different, just because I'm assuming that many of you are new to this process of writing monologues for the stage. And it is a very distinctive art. And I want to give you the best introduction to writing for the stage and writing these short monologues. That's what we're focusing on today. Many of you will have ideas about writing a one-woman show, and that's terrific, but we're focusing today in this webinar as an introduction to writing a short piece for the stage. And I've had the opportunity to bring to you today 3 actors. This is a play lab. This is the kind of play lab experience that I really love to facilitate, is when we have the opportunity to have actors reading the writing that is produced in the workshop. Now, 2 of the monologues we're going to present to you, the short ones at the top here today, were written very recently in a monologue workshop that I ran for the Transformative Language Arts Network. And one of them was written by me many years ago in a one-woman show that I produced. So those 3, I just want to give you a flavor. They weren't necessarily written to the theme that we're looking at today, writing about unsung heroines, but I think if you listen carefully, you will come away with a sense of the heroine singing her song in each of these 3 monologues. Now, this is one of my favorite times that happens in the theater, that hush that is there before the curtains open and before the magic and the enchantment of what's going to unfold on stage happens. And there is nothing, writing poetry is thrilling, but there's nothing like the thrill of being a writer who has written a script that is then handed to an actor, and then that actor stands up on the stage and delivers it with all her artistry for the audience who is listening. And you, as a writer, become part of that audience. This is a collaborative art in the truest sense of the word. And I want to give you a sense of the collaboration that happens here today. Let me just jump ahead. I'm going to be introducing now, without further ado, the monologues that we're going to present to you before you write your own. quite a couple of things I want you to be thinking about.
You muted yourself, Mom.
Thank you. My daughter, Francie, is one of the actors that's going to be presenting to you today. That's why she's here. I want you to be thinking about, as you're listening to the monologue, who the character is, who she is speaking to. All right, that's the most important thing to think about. What is the setup? Where are we when the curtain rises? When you're writing monologues for the stage, we are often drawing our inspiration from real life. And I totally believe that many of us have opportunities to do that. But your character is not you. All right. So you can be writing about a character inspired by your life, but she is not you. So we always are going to draw that distinction. Okay, so now I need to ask that everybody please turn off your video and your audio. We're going to start with a blacked out stage, and that is going to include me. And Desiree, can we hide all non-video participants if we haven't already? Perhaps we have.
Let me double check for you.
Okay. All right, so you're going to watch the 3 monologues. The first one, I will introduce you now. Jamila Capitman is going to perform an original monologue by Grace Calder called Freeze Oprah. At Rise, her character Solange is in her living room watching an Oprah interview on TV. Let's watch.
Oprah's on. Don't you dare interrupt my Oprah time. All right, Oprah, just freeze a minute. Princess Meghan is great, but what about interviewing someone who's gone through the bowels of hell, addiction, and made it through? Oprah, how come you never interview some commoner like me? I'm watching you every day. You haven't told my love story. Don't you want to know what I'm thinking about when I feel lower than a snake's belly? What makes me smile? Doesn't have to be a Lexus or a title or a crown. It's memories. Better than a high. You know, I may not have married my prince, but I felt like a princess once. Yeah. I was treated like a princess by this boy. But guess what, Oprah? I come in from work, my feet are hurting, my head is hurting, and I lean back and I think about him, and let me tell you, does that feel good? Oprah, I'm glad you asked. How I met my prince was I had to take a driving class the summer I was 16. And who happened to be there but that beautiful boy? He had a perfect afro. He had the lightest skin, brownest eyes, most kissable lips, and like me, he was from Costa Rica. We were born on the same ground. Sitting there in driver's ed, we loosened up and he asked me out, but I played hard to get. Why would I want to go out with you? And Oprah, that boy sulked. And then he took up this pen and drew 2 ducks, one me, one him, sitting on Lover's Leap. And because I said no, he was jumping off Lover's Leap. He handed me his masterpiece and he looked so sad. And I said, yes, boy, I will go out with you. He bought me a nice Timex, but he didn't have to buy me anything to make me feel good. He told me I was beautiful, Oprah. He took me to the ring dance. Know why I love this time with him? Because that boy didn't want anything from me. No sex. I didn't have to have sex with him. I had love. Does anyone know what love is? Well, I do. They say love is gentle. Love is kind. Oprah, your listeners If they haven't experienced love like that, then I say keep working, because it's the most beautiful thing to remember when you're living in hell. See, Oprah, whenever I'm feeling like, what the heck do I have to live for? I remember I've had many men since then. None of them like that boy. My Timex time. Am I looking for that again, Oprah? Well, being mature now, I know I can't get that back, but once upon a time, I was a princess. Oprah, you always know the best questions to ask.
And now we have Francie DuMar performing an original monologue by Kelly DuMar, Your Casting Call. At Rise, an actor is auditioning on the stage.
Hello. My agent may have led you to believe that I'm here to audition, but I'm not here to meet your casting requirements. I'm here to shatter them. My intention is to inspire your deepest, most authentic, creative response to me. Oh, by the way, my monologue doesn't require nudity, but it may inspire it. So feel free to remove as much clothing as you choose. My name? ENVIA exclamation point. That's all caps. My last name is the exclamation point. Aries is my star sign, and spontaneity and creativity leapt into alignment the moment I was conceived. Wherever I go, whomever I meet, here I am. And I'm always evolving. You will love me or you will loathe me, but you will not beat my innate talent into compliance with your incomprehensible expectations and then reject me for my lack of originality. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound jaded. I may be open to having a mutual and receptive experience with you where we can co-create a medium of mutual expression that sustains our integrity as both artists and human beings. Oh, geez. I might be also receptive to an offer of a protein shake. Do you mind if I ask if you got enough sleep last night? Are you open to feedback? It's just that you would maybe make a better impression on me today if you had gotten a good night's rest. Maybe you were dreaming of me, and if that's the case, well, whatever you do, don't stop. Oh, and by the way, I don't really do callbacks. If I'm interested, I'll follow up. No worries, I've got your number.
And our third monologue will be performed by Elizabeth Rose, performing Pocket Guide to Desert Survival, a monologue by Olive Sullivan. At Rise, a woman is in the desert with a backpack. Let's watch.
The Pocket Guide to Desert Survival, page 1. Oh, I see you there, Condor. You've been circling since long before I fled the cancer ward, my IV pole rattling behind me. I can feel the shadow of your wings, like a cold palm pressing against my shoulder blades. So listen. First, don't panic. Okay, Panic if you have to, but get over it. Buck up, move on. It's best to spend the scorching daylight hours hunkered down in whatever shade you can find. When dusk falls, you can move around, dig for water on the dry arroyo, gather a prickly pear for its juice and its sweet flesh. Try not to bleed. Everything in the desert wants to eat you. And don't look under the rocks. You never know what you might uncover. Be ready to jump back. Let your hide toughen. If only I weren't so tired. You don't understand, Condor. It's like I'm already a ghost. Like my touch isn't real. Like my hand passes through everything I try to hold. I sleep in a fetal position. I hold myself together to stay warm. Of course, I'm taking all of this seriously. They told me I'd be dead by Christmas. Christmas! It's already November. Use what you have with you. Okay. Plastic water bottle, almost empty. Shit. Maybe I can collect water later, like it says. Let's see. Sun hat. Nope. Maybe I can make one. There's a section in here on weaving. I think maybe try knots. All those hours doing macrame are coming to good use after all. Library card, credit card, Starbucks card, not useful. Although the plastic cards might help with digging water later. And oh, look, I have a list of edible desert plants. Saved. Okay, next. Mark your way so searchers can find you. Build cairns of rock at regular intervals. Well, I guess that's good. They'll find my body anyway. At least they'll know I was here. I was here. But Condor, does it matter even that I was here? That I am here? I mean, I'm still alive. Yes, you're right. I need to have some fun with it. Gosh, though, my shoulder itches. Do you think something bit me? It looks like I'm growing wings, like condor wings. This is so weird. You're going to call Coyote? Meet you where? The top of that red mesa? You've got to be kidding. That's got to be 10 miles away and straight up. Ugh, I better get moving. Soon I'll be turning my sun-browned face to the deep blue sky, soaring from the canyon rim, dancing to the music of the coyotes. Oh, look, there's a dedication page. I missed that one. And there's a quote. The desert will either kill you or cure you. Your choice.
Wonderful. And I would love to ask my 3 actors to just come back and take a bow. Wonderful. Okay, please feel free to let our waiting room participants in. Francie, Jamila, Elizabeth, phenomenal. We really appreciate your being here. Huge help for us in this play lab today. So thank you. Everybody, please turn your video back on that you want to,